Are video games in fact considered to be art? In my humble opinion, most certainly. Most definitely. See, I do not like the fact that there's going to be those snobby-ass artists out there, or critics that'll say, well, video games, they're not really art. No. It's like, dude, are you fucking kidding me? Okay, do you have such an enclosed opinion about art? It's like, do you really grasp what art is all about? It's about expression. Okay, art isn't about just what you can sketch, what you can paint, what you can mold. Alright, it goes well beyond that. This can go into writing. This can go into filmmaking. This can go into music, okay? And video games most certainly are, in fact, art. Alright, take, for example, a very beautiful game. One of my favorites with an art style I just absolutely love because it's honestly a treat just to look at. And that's Okami. Okay, if you've ever played Okami, you already know what I mean. Okami literally is like watching a watercolor painting come to life. It's absolutely amazing to look at. If you look at this game and you're not absolutely floored by the visuals, even now, the visuals are nice. It could be several years into the future, I will still think it looks nice. A decade, I will still think the same exact thing. Why? It's just great looking. Okay, they hit the nail on the head. I'm sorry, but when an artist goes and they create a character, or they'll create like a world, they'll create vehicles and weapons and all that, you know, they have to go and stylize what the game is going to look like. Well, after doing all these designs and everything, somebody has to go and make that into a game, a living and breathing world. The characters you get to control, you interact with, that you fight against, the worlds that you run around in, and you're able to just literally pan the camera around and look at it. I mean, worlds that you will literally remember for years and years to come. Some of which will become some of your favorite worlds in general. You know, that some of us honestly become attached to. And you're going to say that something that amazing is not art? Okay, look at a game like Darksiders, which has some of my favorite character art ever done in a game. Okay, not just character art, I mean art in general. Okay, Darksiders is absolutely wonderful looking. There was tons of times, I'm one of those people that whenever I'm dropped into like a big world and everything, I will stop and pan the camera around to look at everything because I enjoy it so much. What about Brutal Legend? That game right there is one of the most iconic games I've ever seen for not just like art style and visual presentation, but for anybody who absolutely loves metal. Okay, just seeing all that stuff come to life and seeing some of the absolute best that metal had to offer, like the pioneers of the genre, show up. I mean, like literally come to life on screen. Was amazing. You know, I was just like, oh my god, it's fucking Aussie. You get to see him every time that you want to go and check out your car. You want new moves, you have to go to the Ozman. Dude, that's so awesome. Yet somebody's going to say, this is not art. How? How is it not art? Okay, what about the fact that people love doing 8-bit art? Okay, I mean, there's a lot of 8-bit art out there, I mean, that is honestly amazing. Sure, it's just little pixels and squares put together, but you want to know what? It takes a lot of talent and a real eye and a lot of imagination to be able to create a lot of that stuff. And it's breathtaking half the time. I mean, it really is. I mean, there's museums that have video game art in them. And you're going to say, this is not art? All you are is a narrow-minded asshole if you say something like that. Okay, sure, not every single game is going to be like the absolute definition of what art is, and some games just absolutely don't have it whatsoever, but that doesn't mean that the entire genre, I mean, I've seen tons of like paintings I've seen, I'm like, I don't really like it, doesn't mean it's not art, it is. You know, somebody put a lot of work into it, and somebody had an idea and they ran with it. You know, it's all in the eye of the beholder, okay? If you look at something and you can consider it to be art, then it is. Art is just about expression from oneself when creating something. Okay? It's not going to be anchored down by some, like, minimal little opinion, and somebody's just like, oh, you didn't sketch, you didn't draw, you didn't paint it, you didn't sculpt it. You know, that's what we've thought of as art for the longest time. Well, art is a lot more vast of a landscape. Anybody that is able to create something in some kind of way, of everything that I touched on, you get my respect, absolutely. Even if you create a turd of something, at least you have some kind of artistic fucking bone in you to want to be able to create and appreciate what the stuff is. So again, art, is it have to do with video games? Oh yeah, big time. Art and video games, they go hand in hand, okay? But I want to know, how many of you out there have come across this question, and what did you think about it? Do you consider video games to be an art form? And if so, why? Maybe you don't agree with this. Maybe you don't think that video games are considered art. Either way, whatever your opinion is, you should comment down below in the comment box. Or you can make a video response if you want to talk about it in a little more detail. And there are tons more games out there that I could talk about the visual art style, you know, like the Guilty Gear games. I think they look absolutely amazing. Blaze Blue, same exact thing. Muramasa the Demon Blade, another visual treat. Bit Trip Saga, all those games look absolutely amazing. I mean, there's tons of games out there that artistically just floor me in so many different ways, but naming them all off would take hours and hours. But those are just examples of many, many games out there that when you look at them, you can most certainly see the artistic aspects of them and appreciate them in a big way. So I want to know what all of you out there in the YouTube world think. So share your opinions and your thoughts and everything, and as always, nerds, nerdettes, and gamers, game the fuck on.